Good evening. Here is top news newsletter, starting with headlines. Syrian army continues to hunt down terrorists. Popular demands in Tunisia to consider normalization with ultra-tourism. Pakistan parliament rejects the Saudi call to join coalition against Yemen. Large numbers of terrorists are being killed as the army units continue to target their gatherings and hideouts in all provinces, advancing into many areas. The army targeted gatherings of terrorists in Tel el-Mal and Zimrin village in the countryside of the southern Daraa province, killing a number of them and injuring others in addition to destroying a bulldozer of them. 18 terrorists from the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria were killed in an explosion in a pump-making workshop in Al-Shadadiyah city in the southern countryside of Al-Hasaka province, northern Syria. The workshop, which was set up in the house in one of the city's neighborhoods on Al-Hasaka Deir Road, had been used by terrorists for making bombs and explosives to carry out attack and bombings. An explosion took place in the workshop Thursday evening, leaving at least 18 ISIS terrorists dead and destroying the several buildings. Delegation of the Syrian Arab Republic and the delegation of the opposition figures in Moscow's second consultative meeting agreed on points about the items of estimating the status quo, calling on the international community to practice immediate and serious pressures on Arab regional and international powers, which contribute to shedding the Syrian plot to carry out UN Security Council resolutions relevant to combating terrorism, halting out of supporting terrorism, including training, funding, and arming terrorism. Calling on the international community to immediately lift embargo and the economic procedures imposed on the Syrian people and its institutions, asserting that any outcome of the political process should be based on national sovereignty and popular will. In the evening session, delegation of the Syrian Arab Republic distributed a paper of 12 items on mechanism of combating terrorism in accordance with the Article 2 of the agenda. The paper affirmed condemning terrorist attacks, implementing UNCS relevant resolution and respected national sovereignty in the framework of the international effort to fight terrorism. The second round of Moscow consultative meeting concluded deliberations with unanimous agreement on the first item of estimating the status quo. Continuation in the Syrian situation, Takfiri militants are holding hostage at least 15 civilians seized in a raid on a village in the central city. ISIL militants kidnapped the civilians from the village of El-Mabouja in Hama province on March 31. News of the kidnapped had been kept quiet because of ongoing negotiations for their release, but the talks have been faltered. A number of the international rights group have warned that ISIL is systematically killing military in Iraq and Syria. They have likened the terrorist blood quest to atrocities committed by Nazis. Pakistan's parliament urged the government to stay out of the conflict in Yemen, rejecting Saudi demands for Islamabad to join its coalition against the Arab world's poorest country. An unanimous resolution based by the special session of Parliament said Pakistan should play a mediating role and not get involved in fighting, turning down long-standing Riyadh's request for troops, ships, and warplanes. Parliament of Pakistan underscores the need for continued efforts by government of Pakistan to find a peaceful resolution of the crisis, as the resolution said. The motion came after 5 days of debate on the Yemen crisis, in which the majority of lawmakers urged Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif not to send Pakistani forces to join the fight. Pakistan has pushed diplomatic efforts in the past week, holding talks with the Turkish and Iranian officials to try to forge a way ahead. Friday's resolution urged the government to begin work in the UN Security Council under the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (POC) to bring about the ceasefire. Tunisians took to a street on Thursday demanding that the authorities consider normalization of ties with the Zionist entity treason. On the occasion of the National Day of Martyrs, popular protest took place in the Tunisian capital to voice solidarity with the Palestinian resistance against the Zionist crimes. We are making the Day of Martyrs. We are here to salute the martyrs from all around our Muslim and Arab nation. We are here to salute the martyrs of the resistance, as one of the protesters said. The compass is always pointing toward Palestine, another protester said. Earlier in March, the Tunisian judicial authorities barred two fighters from traveling to the occupied terrorists. Meanwhile, several political factions are seeking to impose a law to criminate the normalization of ties with Zionist entity. This move is based on the fact that Tunisian constitution's primal provides for supporting the Palestinian liberation movement against the Zionist entity, as they said. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Inas Ahmed. Good night.